what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the movie Wonder Woman 1984. Now this is a sequel to Wonder Woman from 2017, which is a pretty good film, and I saw this in the theater. Now I actually got to see this in the theaters too. Now one of the things interesting about this new Wonder Woman film is actually being like available on HBO Max, and you also can see it in the theater at the same time, so you can watch it at home or you can choose to go to a theater. That's like unprecedented, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and it's kind of giving us like a glimpse of probably how the actual movie theater going experience is going to be one day, because like the COVID virus or the coronavirus, that's what's causing everything to be like that, But yeah, I went and saw this like in the theaters, like in IMAX, and I thought it was a pretty solid sequel. It's pretty good. Now it does seem like I thought the original one was actually better, but this one was still pretty good. Now again, you have Patty Jenkins, who returns as the director, and you also have Gal Gadot back in the role of Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. Then also Steve Trevor, he returns to, Chris Pine returns to the role of Steve Trevor. Then you have like some new characters like brought in too as well. Like you have Kristen Wiig as Barbara, also known as I think Cheetah too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you have Kristen Wiig as Barbara Minerva, I think, and she's also known as Cheetah too as well. Then you have Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. Now he's actually like the antagonist of the film, Maxwell Lord. Now the film itself, it opens with like I ain't gonna say a flashback, but it gives us a glimpse of Diana when she was like a young girl, and she's actually like training. And I think she's like competing in some kind of tournament, because then she actually cheats to try to win it. And then like the people had stopped and said, it was wrong, you shouldn't cheat. I'm not gonna go into all that, But it does give us like a glimpse of how she was as like a young girl. Then it jumps to like 1984, where she's like living like I think it's DC, if I'm not mistaken. It jumps to like 1984, which is like present day in the film. So again, this is like another period piece film, just like the previous Wonder Woman film was. They're like both like period piece type films. They're not like in our era. And she's working as an anthropologist at a museum like in DC, Washington. That's when she comes across a character known as Barbara. And Barbara is also like a woman who's like into all like these artifacts and museum type stuff and so on. And I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to spoil the film, But then you also have Maxwell Lord, who shows up, and he's this guy who's actually interested in like the artifacts and all that. And Barbara actually brings him in, because at one point they kind of join together. You can kind of see that coming, But he's also interested in these artifacts, and so on. And this one artifact apparently has like some kind of like power where it can grant like wishes and so on. But yeah, this artifact known as like I think the Dream Stone, it actually grants like the user like wishes, like whatever they wish for, they actually it grants their wish and so on. Because at one point it explains how Barbara becomes like Cheetah and so on. I don't want to get into all that, and I thought that was kind of interesting. I bet it's probably different like in the comics though, Then also it shows like when Maxwell Lord, when he actually gets hold of the actual thing, he actually takes it completely. Because once he actually gets it, it's actually like disintegration, Then that's when he becomes like really in control of it. Then he goes around asking everybody, even like the president at one point, the president of the United States, what does he wish for? And that's when he begins to take control of like the world, and everybody's like trying to follow him and so on. So of course, Diana Prince, she has to stop because she knows it's kind of wrong, it's like bad, and so on. But the film itself, it's pretty good, I thought it's like it's too long, but it's still like pretty good, I know these kind of films do be kind of long, it does like it's like overly long. But like a lot of the action sequences, like Wonder Woman herself and so on, they were awesome. I ain't gonna lie. Whenever she's like fighting around, like using her lasso of truth and so on, it looks really cool. I ain't gonna lie. Just like how the first one did, how the previous one looked at, but it does like this one's actually even better looking, because there are scenes where she's like in the mall fighting. I think like in the Washington, like the White House, fighting like a road scene where they're fighting like on the road. All the scenes of her are like awesome. I ain't gonna lie. The way Wonder Woman looks in this film, it is very cool. Especially like her lasso, like the effect of her like lasso whip and so on. I think all that is cool. Now Cheetah gets her moments to shine too. I won't get into all that, just leave that. But I thought she's pretty. It seems like she's more interesting as a character when she's actually Barbara, But when she actually does become like the Cheetah thing, persona, that's pretty interesting too as well. It's cool, And like I said, Pedro, I guess her character, Maxwell Lord, it seems kind of weird. It's just something like weird about it, but I thought it was like, it seems very comedic, like he's like being funny a lot. Even Barbara at one point, the one that's Cheetah, like it's very funny, But overall, I thought this was a pretty entertaining film. And the way they bring how Steve Trevor survives, like Chris Pine, the way they bring him back, that's nothing I thought was kind of like confusing and weird. Because the way he shows up, you know, this is like spoiler territory. You can kind of still tell he's actually still really like dead, you know, the way his character shows up, you know. But they do give an explanation for why he's like in the film too as well. And he's dead too, like for like most of the film, you know. But there's just something weird about it, you know. And it is really him too, you know. But I just leave it at that. Overall, the film has some solid action sequences. Like I say, Wonder Woman herself looks cool. You also get to see her like flying a lot too as well. She's flying there, like whipping on lightning bolts and all that. And it looked cool. The actual flight sequences where she's like flying and stuff. It looks awesome. You know, I think they did a pretty good job on that. I was like it's like a future Superman movie with him flying like that, and it looks like that. You know, to me, like the flight sequences with her that are very good. You know, but in Wonder Woman 1984. I thought it was a pretty good film. It just still seems like the original one from 2017. I just thought that was like a much better film, you know. But it's from it's pretty good. And like I said, it's like another period piece film that's set in 1984. You get to see all the stuff that was going on like in the 80s, all like the gangs, like the way the mall, like the clothing style, like the music, all that. You get to see all how the 80s were, you know. So it's kind of interesting, like a flashback to that kind of stuff, you know. I'm giving Wonder Woman 1984. I'm giving this a B-, and I would definitely recommend it for fans of like the Wonder Woman movies or the Wonder Woman character in general. I would definitely recommend it for fans, you know, them kind of fans, you know, especially if you're a fan of the previous one. It's very similar to it, you know, but I just feel like the first one was actually better, so I'm giving this a B-. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.